The thing to understand about this is just how unusual it is to see a cyclone like this coming this far south.
It'll be the first tropical cyclone to directly hit the region in more than 50 years.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Sailing with the Jameses. We found ourselves in a high-stakes adventure as Tropical Cyclone Alfred, a Category 2 storm, barrels down on the coast of Australia, making its way south, far beyond where anyone expected it to go. It's been over 50 years since this coast has seen anything like it, and we're left wondering, what in the world is a cyclone doing so far south, outside the usual cyclone belt? As we move locations, tuck in, and keep a close, sharp eye on this unpredictable storm, we and the whole eastern coast are left suspensefully wondering, where will it make landfall? Hi, we're the James family.
Are you sick of your day-to-day life? Ever thought about doing something different?
Well, we did just that.
We bought an unfinished aluminium catamaran and we're fixing her up as we sail around the world.
Come along for the journey and click subscribe.
Daddy? Mommy? Charlie? Jameses.
4 months ago, we got relaunched after completing a major refit on our sailboat, a now 52-foot aluminium catamaran, which is also our full-time floating home. We got relaunched in November, smack dab at the beginning of cyclone season, in Cairns, Australia, which is in the heart of the cyclone belt. After relaunch, we jetted south down the eastern coast of Australia to escape the cyclone belt. Because, let's be honest, last year when we were in the heart of one, it wasn't that much fun. Now we are sitting pretty down around the Fraser Island coast and Hervey Bay area, well south of the cyclone belt. And what do we have barreling straight for us but a cyclone? So we are on the move this morning, and we are headed from, there's an anchorage called Kingfisher Bay just out in the middle of Fraser, and we are headed into the Sandy Straits today.
So essentially we're just playing it safe. I hate pushing wind and tide, and catamarans really don't like motoring against any kind of decent wind. So we're moving up slightly early. At this stage, when we went to bed last night, 2 of the cyclone models had it crossing the coast very close to us. We woke up this morning, and at this stage they're all staying off the coast, which is very, very nice for us. But we figured to be safe, and before the winds come, to give you context, it's Friday today, and the cyclone's due to pass us Sunday, so it's only a couple of days away. So we're going to come further into the system here. We're getting away from the major creeks where a lot of the times with cyclone comes a lot of rain, and then you get flooding and you get all sorts of debris washing out of the creeks. And what it also does on the anchorages is the current will hold you one way, but if the wind hits you on the side, you're increasing your windage and putting a lot more strain on your ground tackle. So we're going up to a place where the tide is nowhere near as strong. There's no major creeks entering into the area, yet we still have quite large hills to hide behind. So if it was a direct hit, we would actually move to a different spot. This one is just going to be more comfortable as the big hills are there, but it is a little bit more exposed than we'd go to if it was a direct hit.
Yeah, so we moved all the way from Cairns after the refit down here to get out of the cyclone belt to be hit by a cyclone.
Yeah, so yeah, it's exciting everywhere we look. But at this stage, everything's looking quite confident, quite good. It is going to come very close to us. We are going to get a fair bit of rain and a fair bit of wind. But at this stage, it just looks like it's going to be 40, 45 knots, so, which in cyclone terms isn't too bad.
Yeah. Right now, it's the eerie calm before the cyclone. Last year, before the cyclone that hit us in Townsville, It was a very calm, very warm feeling. It's eerie, and last night it was that very same feeling. So safe side, we are moving for more protection.
That's it, and because we're heading south and the wind will be coming from the southeast, we're heading upwind. So we're doing it now before the wind is too strong.
What is a cyclone? A cyclone is a powerful storm that spins around a central low-pressure area known as the eye. It forms over warm ocean waters where the heat and moisture feed the storm, creating strong winds, heavy rainfall, and potentially severe weather events like flooding and storm surges. Cyclones are categorized by the wind speeds ranging from tropical lows to highly intense storms. They are most common in tropical and subtropical regions, and when they make landfall, they can cause widespread damage. I found this next part really interesting. Did you know that cyclones, hurricanes, and typhoons are all generally the same? Cyclone is the term used in the Indian Ocean and South Pacific, hurricane for the Atlantic and Northeast Pacific, and the term typhoon is used in the Northwest Pacific. Pretty cool, hey? We are running because the cyclone will bring strong winds, and as the cyclone makes landfall, the wind angles will change. The high winds will circle around, and not all anchorages will have the same complete 360-degree coverage.
Welcome to South White Cliffs. It's a fantastic anchorage that's completely served us well through the beginning of Cyclone Alfred. Now, when we came here, the cyclone was up north of us and it was tracking down the coast. At any point, it had the potential of crossing the coast. So we chose this anchorage because of this wonderful hill that's behind me here. So we tucked in nice and close, and that way a lot of the winds were going across and over the boat. What's happened now is Alfred didn't cross land, it still stayed off the coast, and it's further south of us now. And what's going to happen is it's predicted to actually cross the coast. It changes all the time because it is a slow moving cyclone and they're very unpredictable. But at this stage it's Brisbane. Now what that means is the wind angle is changing, and at this stage it's coming from directly behind me here, and it is predicted if it does cross near Brisbane, it will come round more from the west, which is this direction. What that means is we're not hidden behind a hill anymore. We have a fair bit of fetch coming through, and this isn't the anchorage for us. So we're going to haul the pick and then find somewhere a little bit better to go.
Good job.
Alright guys, we are currently en route to our next anchorage. The one we've just left was really good for the winds we just had, but seeing as the winds are changing, we need to find a new spot. So we had two options available to us. We could either go down south to one called Gary's Anchorage, or we can go to one called Big Woody's, and we are headed to Big Woody.
So we're very lucky in this area. There's lots of different options, and these two choices gave us completely different, they've got completely different benefits and completely different negatives that go along with it. The benefit of going to Gary's Anchorage is it has 360-degree protection. It doesn't have a major creek or anything flowing into it, and it has absolutely fantastic holding. So if we were going to get a direct hit, that was going to be the choice for us. As at this stage, it is looking less and less likely for us to get a direct hit, we have opted for Big Woody. And the reason we're going to Big Woody is because from there, as the cyclone is south of us, if we're going to run from it, then we would run north to get away from it. When we're down at Gary's Anchorage, we have that spot that we run aground at a few videos ago called Sheridan Flats. So we're restricted to tide getting out of Gary's Anchorage and heading north. So we would make that choice and we would sit there. And as a sailor, for me personally, once we've got no more options, that's when it's the most stressful for me, because then I've just got to pray that I've made the right decisions at the time. You start second guessing yourself, reanalyzing it. Is this the right choice? And so for me, I much prefer to have options. I know I've been talking to a few friends that are cruising with us in this area, and they would prefer not to have options because that's the stressful part for them. They want to go somewhere where they're going to be fairly safe, hunker down, and then not have to worry too much about it. They've made their decisions and sit it out. Or I'm a little different, I suppose. In the shipping world, you always get sent to sea, so you always run from it. I've actually ran from quite a few cyclones in my career, never on a boat this small, but having said that, as I said, we're to the north of it, and we're a long way away from where the eye is at this stage. We've got nearly 2 days worth of time if we do decide to run. If not, we're in a perfect position to keep on exploring rather than being at places we've already seen. So we're going to head on up to Big Woody.
Yeah, it seems weird to say, but we are headed north to escape a cyclone. We are in, which normally in this hemisphere you head south to escape the cyclone. So we're doing everything about this cyclone is completely off. Shouldn't be this far south. We're going to head north. But yeah, this anchorage up here, we're looking forward to it. We've never been to this side of Big Woody before, so it should be pretty cool for us to check out. And as Sam said, it gives us options. It should be a safe anchorage. We have options if something does happen with the cyclone. Yeah.
One thing that's changed and just revolutionized everything is Starlink. And so with Starlink, you've always got connectivity. If I didn't have the connectivity, I would be hunkering down somewhere and keeping my family safe. But at this stage, we do have connectivity, and I believe because we do, and we can get regular updates on what exactly is happening, then I can keep the boat and the family even safer doing this option.
Yeah, this decision like 2-3 years ago before Starlink would have been a bit different, but now we have literally internet on the boat, mobile with us. We get updates like really fast, where sometimes like 3 years ago we'd get an update at the beginning of the day or the middle of the day, and then you don't have connection because you're out somewhere remote, and so you're going by something that is 6 hours old, 8 hours old. And with a cyclone that's doing weird stuff, the predictions have been changing hourly. So Starlink's revolutionized everything.
It really has, and for us as a family, we don't like sitting still for too long. We love exploring. It's why we live this lifestyle. This option here is only good for a couple of days, and we are going to have to move. It's not a place where you can hunker down and sit for a week or so until everything's clear. It only offers protection from a certain amount of winds, so we'll be here for a few days, then we'll move to another spot, be there for a few days, then everything should be clear and we'll be back off exploring. But it gets us 2 new spots to check out.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
For me, I mean, the thing to understand about this is just how unusual it is to see a cyclone like this coming this far south and then bearing down on a major capital city.
The last cyclone to cross near Brisbane was Cyclone Zoe in 1974, which caused major flooding in the city and New South Wales region. There's a few reasons why Alfred is so unusual. Generally speaking, cyclones stick to far north Queensland. They require warm sea water surface temperatures above 60.8 degrees Fahrenheit to form and strengthen. And as you move south, towards this end of Queensland, the water's cool, which generally makes cyclone formation less likely. Cyclones also typically form between 10 and 20 degrees latitude, and Alfred is definitely outside the typical latitude range.
If it crosses the coast there, it'll be the first tropical cyclone to directly hit the region in more than 50 years.
We're just passing our favourite anchorage on Fraser now, which is Kingfisher Bay. Big Woody is just up ahead right here. That big island right there. It got a bit gusty just a little while ago. You can probably hear the wind pick up now as well. It got super gusty. So we put away the head sail. We did it by putting the baby stay. We put out the staysail to blanket and then we put that one away. Now we're just gonna run with the staysail. Yeah, it's picking up a bit here and we should be a Big Woody shortly. When it was picking up and we had the baby stay out, why do I keep saying baby stay? It's a staysail. When we put the staysail out and put the head sail away, we were doing 6.5 knots just with the tiny sail, this one, and probably doing that right now, but when the gust went away we were doing 4.5 or something.
Way stronger.
We've just turned a corner and ducked behind this island right here. There's another one up ahead and then Big Woody's the big one just right there. But after just turning this corner right here, the swell has died down heaps. Like it's already protected quite a bit. And just so you guys know, the waves never show up as big on screen or on camera as they do in real life. I don't know how you get them to show up as big as they are, but they never show up quite true on camera. Shat myself. We just went through a small opening. There's a sandbar that runs lengthwise this way of the island that's over here, and a small opening, tide and everything, big waves, and I think because there's an extra element of a cyclone being off the coast and stirring everything up, that everything's heightened, and I just almost crapped myself going through there. We made it just fine, no issues at all, but everything's heightened at this point with the cyclone. That was fun. I'm just finding that this is pretty normal sailing and my senses are just a little bit higher than normal because there's an extra element there of there's a cyclone off the coast and everything. So it might not be as calm as what I am saying either. We've just anchored at Big Woody. Now it's time to clean up some ropes and put some stuff away.
And up to the minute reports as Cyclone Alfred makes landfall. And Alfred arrives.
Get out.
The storm smashing southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales, delivering wind gusts in excess of 100 kilometres an hour.
More than 500,000 people without power, and that number expected to rise. Fears it could take weeks to restore.
Beaches washed away, homes and businesses under threat. Alfred's fury carves a destructive path along the Queensland coast.
We safely tucked into the northern section of the Sandy Straits as Tropical Cyclone Alfred made landfall south of us. We were very lucky that Alfred passed on the outside of Fraser Island on its way south, and very lucky it did not turn and come north. We hope everyone stayed safe during this wild ride of a weather event. Thank you everyone for your kind comments checking up on us during this weather event. If you enjoyed this video, please consider clicking the thumbs up button and leaving us a comment below. It helps us out heaps and we greatly appreciate it. A massive shout out to our Patreons. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you. If you are interested in joining our virtual crew and helping support us making videos and content, the link to our Patreon is in the description box below. Thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you all same time next week. Bye everyone.